Good afternoon. We'll just wait for 5 more minutes, okay? Then I'll be starting the session. Good afternoon. So, with previous class, we have started with charts, right? So, anybody is having any doubts from formula section and also the chart insertion of chart into the Excel sheet? Anybody is having any doubts? So we had seen insertion of charts into the Excel sheet or insertion of a chart into a separate chart sheet. Along with that, I explained you different chart elements, right? So we'll just revise that charts part first, and then I will just go to the chart types. Okay. So then we'll just move on to the today's topic, that is pivot tables. Okay. So types of charts, there are much to learn there. Okay, we'll learn some formatting options available for charts. Along with that, we're going to see types of charts, and finally we're going to cover up or give an introduction to pivot table. Okay, that will be the today's session. Okay, so this is our session 8. Okay, so in which I'll be covering types of chart along with pivot table. Okay, so now we already have seen the insertion of chart, right? So just drop me the shortcut for insertion of chart into the same sheet. Can anybody tell me shortcut for insertion of the chart in the same sheet? So what is the procedure? Or at least if you don't know the shortcut, tell me how to insert a chart. If anybody knows, either you can drop me a message, or also you can just unmute and tell me the answer, no issues. Nobody knows. Okay, let me just recall it once again. Okay, so this is our table. In order to analyze or in order to just represent the data which I have got in a tabular format into a graphical representation or a diagrammatic representation, we're going to make use of charts. Okay, so how do I use that, or how do I insert that chart? First of all, I need to select the chart or the data range. Sorry, I mean to say the table. Okay, or the data range for which, see, you can have n number of rows. Okay, but in that, for which all the data range you just want to apply the chart, only that range you can select here, so that for only that set of data, chart will be inserted. Okay, I have now selected the data range. I'll go to insert tab here. Okay, so once I click on insert tab, just a minute. Okay, you're going to get here in the middle, you have a group called as charts, right? So you have different types of charts available here, and you do have a recommended charts over here. Either you can select the type of chart from here in the options, or just select recommended charts. Okay, I'm sorry, just a delay in the response of the Excel. Okay, so now I'll just get this dialog box, and here either you can select these recommended charts for you from Excel itself. Okay, or you can go to the all charts option, wherein you can find different types of charts provided by Excel application. Okay, so for explanation sake, I'll just go with the first one. Okay, and select the type, and if you want to change here, that is fine. Okay, this is the preview of the chart that will be applied for your data. Okay, just you can just select the format in which it has to be displayed. Just click on OK. Okay, so my chart will appear in the particular sheet. So this is by default, you're going to get your data chart in the same sheet. Okay, so either you can go with this one, or if you just press Alt F1, okay, it is going to insert the chart into your sheet. Okay, otherwise, if at all you want to insert into the different sheet, you can go with the shortcut. Which one? Which one? So if at all I want to insert it into a different sheet, different chart sheet, which one should I use? The shortcut. Okay, it is F11. Okay, it is F11. Just excuse me for today because the application is, I think it is running slow. Okay, so let me just go back to this insert chart. So shortcut for inserting it in the different chart sheet is F11. Okay, if at all you want to insert it within the sheet, you can just go with Alt F1. Okay, that is the shortcut you have. Now this is my chart by default, or I just selected this from my types of chart available, right? So once I insert this in the same sheet, it is going to display all these chart elements, right? So what are all the chart elements we have? The chart title we have here. We can also have axis titles. We can have x-axis and y-axis. See, basically what is chart? You're going to represent the chart, your details, the data range in x-axis as well as y-axis. X-axis, we are going to represent the data, we're going to segregate it. So according to the x-axis, y-axis will show me the growth of that particular data, right? Now, as you can see, we have BCom, BCA, and BBA in different colors represented in the bars. This is a column bar, okay? Column bar. And in each year, 2015 to 2020, each year, how the admissions have grown, okay, for BCom, BCA, and BBA degree. That is shown in my chart, right? So here, blue color indicates BCom, BCA is red color, and green color is BBA. So like this, x-axis data and y-axis data can be represented, right? So now here it is showing you the legend, okay? Whatever it is representing within the color here, that is known as legend, okay? And in x-axis, we have mentioned the data, okay? X-axis data and y-axis data. And these numbers, these are generally just the units and the range we have given. Okay, in which range my data is belonging to, my BCom admission in the 2015, in which range it is. Okay, as you can see, BCom data in 2015 is 99. So it is coming across like nearby to 100. Like this, you have 2015 BCA 100. So it is exactly same to the 100. And the final one is 110, right? So 110, it is little high to the 100. Like this, you can have the range here and the data represented in different bars. Now, as already I said you, when I open a chart, when I insert a chart, once I click on this, your design tab and format tab will be inserted, right? So it will be highlighted or it will be opened automatically. So what do we have in design tab? We have add chart element. So already I explained the chart element, some of them. Okay. So if at all you want more, which is not visible as of now, you can just click on that. You can just click on the add chart elements. So it will ask you for so many other options. So here axis means whatever you are seeing now, right? So these are the primary axis. If at all you have primary axis and primary vertical, I'll just click on primary vertical. See, it has gone, right? So my primary, what was the range? I had it here, it is removed, right? So like that, you can also have primary horizontal removed. Okay, it is gone now. So if at all you want it back, just go to that axis again. You can just insert the primary horizontal and primary vertical. Okay, so these are my axis elements. Now, if I want axis titles, so we do have this axis. Okay, just the data is mentioned, but if at all you want to give a title to those axes, you can just go to add chart elements again. The second option you have it as axis titles. Primary horizontal means For x-axis, you can give a title. If I say primary vertical, for vertical or the y-axis, you can give a title. Okay, so then you have chart title, which is already mentioned over here. If at all you don't want that, you can just click on it. It will not be visible for you. If at all you want to edit that particular title, just one second. So just remove this, whatever is available. Okay, so that is my college database. Okay, you can just change it. Okay, like this, the chart title will be changed. Okay, apart from that, you do have data labels. Data labels are nothing but, okay, always make it bigger. Chart data labels inside, outside, in. So here, whatever you are viewing, the data which is represented in this bar, that will be appearing. Whatever you have the data in the table, that is represented for each bar over there. That is your data labels. If you want data tables, this table for which you have applied the chart, that will appear in the bottom. Okay, so data table, and with legend keys, no legend keys. You can also have, these are the legend keys, right? If you want that, if you don't want that, those are the options available here for you. So with the legend keys means, along with this legend keys, you're going to get the data table, right? If at all you don't want that particular legend, you can remove that too. Okay, once you go this, no legend keys means it will remove that, this particular here. Okay, here whatever, already I have the legends, so that colors will not be displayed for you. Okay, so now similar to that, we have error bars. Okay, we have error bars. Error bars will show you the growth. Okay, so grid lines means, see, I already told you, whatever you are viewing, this horizontal line in the between. Okay, so once I click on this, you get an highlighted area, right? So this inside area is a plot area, and the outside area is the chart area. So here inside the plot area, whatever the horizontal lines you are viewing, okay, so that is nothing but your grid lines. Okay, so either you can have a horizontal line over here, also you can have vertical lines. Okay, and along with that, even these are the major lines. Okay, if at all you choose minor lines along with the grid lines, see, once I click on it, you can even view a smaller lines inside this major lines. Okay, those are called as minor lines. Okay, minor grid lines. And legend already I told you, and the trend line also in a linear way, how particular data, like if at all I want to choose only BCA's growth. Okay, so I'll just go to that, and if I say linear option over here, it will ask me for which particular x-axis you are looking for. Okay, I'll just click on that BCA. I'll click on OK. See the linear way from here, this is BCA, right? From here, how is it growing? That particular trend line, it is showing for only BCA. This trend line can be applied for only one column or one row of your chart table. Okay, so like this, you can apply, you can use many data chart elements. Okay, not data elements, it is chart elements. Now, apart from that, you do have quick layout, right? I just told you what is quick layout. Whatever we saw now, like individually, I'm applying each one of them into the charts here, right? But if at all you don't want to do that individually, these quick layouts will provide you the provision to select any of the layouts already given by Excel people. Okay, Excel already has some layouts in which the individual elements which we inserted now, all those are given in an options. Okay, so already it has been like a ready-made layout that is available for you. See, once I click on this, once I place the cursor on it, it says the layout 3, it is going to provide you. You can see the chart elements like chart title, legend, horizontal axis, vertical axis, and major grid lines. So whatever we get as default, that is the layout 3. Okay, if at all I go with this one, the second one here, okay, the layout 2 will give you chart title, legend, data labels outside on top, and you have horizontal axis. That's all, without any y-axis details. Okay, and the first one will give you some chart title. Okay, whatever you are viewing now, right? It is nothing but the layout 1. Okay, so like this, you can make even the choice. Readily available layouts, you can also use it. And coming to the change colors means here, whatever the bars you have, Okay, now I have three of them, right? The three rows columns, sorry, one second. See, we have the three bars over here for each year, right? So here my year has been represented as x-axis, and my rows are represented with y-axis, right? So my y-axis details are only three. If at all you insert more, okay, so the bars required here will be more, right? So every bar can be changed, can have different set of values. See, already available colors are this one. Okay, so it is readily available, you can choose any one of this. So those set of bars will have those type of colors allocated. Okay, or it will be filled with that, those colors, those set of colors. Okay, so these is change colors, and you do have some format themes, chart styles. Okay, so whatever you saw this quick layout, it is just the layout which you have here. Okay, the layout with different chart elements. But here the chart style means it is going to be used for formatting. Okay, it is shown with the help of formatting options. Okay, like this you can just, these are all the some different formatting options. With the formatting options, chart styles are available. Okay, so now this one, see these formatting options I'm going to show you again. Okay, so now I have this switch row or column option, right? So switch row or column option. See, now I have the data, my the column data as x-axis and my row data as y-axis, right? So if at all you want to interchange them, like my row data will become x-axis and my column data will become y-axis. So if I have just selected my chart, right? So I'll just click on that switch row and column. Now, as you can see, BCom, BCA, BBA, which are my row data, has become now, has been plotted in the chart in x-axis, and all my this one, okay, all my column data are represented in y-axis. So this way you can change or switch the rows and columns. So now say if I have some other degree details, okay, like BSc or BBA, something, okay, if at all I want to include those details also, okay, so I'll just, okay, if at all I just have some data like this. Okay, so I have some data here, but my chart, if I click on this, as you can see how much the data range is selected for this one, this particular chart, only 3 rows. But if at all I want to include this too, okay, just select the chart over here. Okay, go to design tab. Here you have the option as select data, right? So select data option. Okay, so just click on that drop down here. Now just make the selection, the complete table I wanted for the chart, right? So I'll just go back again to this one and click on OK here. Now, as you can see, even the BSc details are also available for you. Okay, so now this is how I can select the range using the options. Okay, so for my complete table, okay, I have applied the chart now. Okay, if at all any changes are there, if at all you want to insert or remove some of the rows and some of the columns. Okay, say if I don't want this 2020 column, the same procedure, go to select the chart, go to select data option. Okay, just to select up to 2019, it will be selecting only those 4 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 columns for you in the as the chart data. Okay, and now whatever chart I am using, okay, if at all you are not satisfied with that, you can also change the chart type there. Okay, just click on that. Again, it will take you to this option, the dialog box, in which different types of, in the beginning I showed you, right? The same chart options will be available for you. If at all you want to make changes, just click on the line or any other type of chart, which we will be learning again. Okay, so just click on OK. Those chart will be changed to line chart. Okay, if you want to change it back, same procedure, go to column and click on OK. It will be giving you this options. Okay, and similar to this, if at all you don't want the chart to be in the same sheet or with next to the data, you can even move the chart to some other places. So once you click on that move chart option, you will get a dialog box. There are 2 options available for you again. It will ask you new sheet. That means you're going to insert the move this particular chart into the chart sheet. Okay, separate chart sheet, or object in, if I say it as object in, it will show you different sheets available in the same workbook. It will show you different sheets available in the same workbook for me. You can just click on any of this. Okay, so if I am in insert chart. Okay, if I just click on some other option, okay, like okay, I just okay. Okay, grouped and ungrouped. I have just clicked that sheet. I'll click on OK. See, this is my grouped and ungrouped sheet name. Okay, here my data has been removed. Okay, if you don't want that again, so click on the chart and say move chart option. Again, select the same sheet. It will come back. Okay, insert chart. That is my sheet name. Okay, just click on OK. It will be moved to the same position. Okay, this is how you can move the chart from one place to another. Okay, so these are some of the options available in your design tab. Similar to that, we also have this format option. What are all these format options? We are going to see. So before going to that format option, I just want to show you some of the options here, in which is appearing in the right side of the chart. See here, whatever the plus mark is there, it is nothing but it is showing you the chart elements. So once I click on that chart elements, one second. So once I click on it, here in the left hand side, as you can see, it is showing you the chart elements, which was there in design tab, add chart element option you had, right? The same options you're going to have it over here. Okay, whichever, this is just like a shortcut for you. If whichever you don't want, you can just remove it. Okay, I'll just try to remove the trend line, okay, and the data table. Okay, so now this is how it looks, and it also, you can also remove the data labels. Okay, those are all my chart elements. Okay, so once you click back that, it will be gone. So this plus mark will give you option to add different chart elements, which is already available in your add chart element in the design tab. Okay, so the next option here in the middle, you have it as chart style. Okay, so once I click on that, whatever the chart style here it is available, the same option is available for you here. Okay, so the same chart option is available for you here. Okay, just click on that, it will be changed for that particular style. Okay, whichever form you want. Okay, all these things can be done manually also. We are going to see that also. Okay, see that particular manually how it can be done. So I'll just close it. Okay, I have closed it. Now, how do we format all these chart elements manually? Okay, we are going to see that. So those formatting options, see, now I have highlighted the plot area, right? So once I double click on that plot area, okay, I will just double click on that for plot area. On the in the right hand side, you will be getting some formatting options for that particular plot area only. Okay, just understand, I'll just close it again. So if I double click on this plot area, okay, so I'll just click on this, double click on the plot area, the right side of the Excel sheet, you can see formatting options only for plot area. Okay, similar to that, if I click on this chart area, double click on chart area, it will show you the formatting options on chart only. Chart area, the complete chart area, not to the plot area. Okay, so what are the different options we have? We have fill color. Okay, so fill option, once I just open it, okay, so now it has automatically applied some colors, right? So here you can just say no fill, that is nothing but it doesn't actually fill with any colors, right? Not even white. So if I say solid fill, automatically it has taken blue color. If at all you want to change this blue color, the background color, the chart area is colored with, the entire chart is colored with blue, right? So if at all you want to change, there is a color option over here. Just select that. Okay, and if I want to make it red, you can do it red. Okay, if you want more light, you can just go with yellow. Okay, like this, you can change the color of the chart. Okay, if I don't want that, you can say no fill or also automatic. So both will give you the same effect here. Okay, so now automatic means the background will be white in color. No fill means without any colors. Okay, so if I say solid fill, some color in the background will be filled with that. And gradient fill means you will have different shades like this. Okay, so if I go with solid fill means you will have the complete chart filled with a particular color, that's all. But gradient with same shade, one shade. Okay, but if you select this gradient fill, it will give you so many other options. You can change the shade which you want, a major color, minor color, like this. You can just set those things. Okay, and next option you have it as picture or texture fill. See, if at all you want to if you want to give a background, in the background if you want to fill out with some pictures or something like that, you can just select this picture option. Okay, so here it automatically gives you texture fill like this. Okay, texture fill, you would have seen different paintings, right? So paints and all that, for house paints they'll do it, right? So similar to that, there is a texture fill option here. And also once you click on this, the picture option is also highlighted for you. So picture source you can select here. In the next to automatic, you have down towards okay, so there you have the option as insert. Select that. Okay, here it will ask you for two options again. From a file, that is from the local computer, you can either choose a file already which is already downloaded, or you can also select the online pictures. So online pictures, if I go and select, okay, here I can type. Okay, if at all I want to insert some logo, I can do that. Or you can just fill it out with any of the options automatically given here. Okay, I'll just go with NICT logo. Okay, I'll type that and click enter. Okay, you will get these options. Select any one there. Okay, and say insert. Okay, so your chart is, see, your chart background is filled with that logo or that picture which you have inserted. Okay, if you don't want this picture, okay. Excuse me, any doubts? Anybody is having any doubts? Okay, so this is how a picture can be inserted into your chart. Okay, if you don't want that, just select no fill, or you can also go with automatic. Okay, so it will just remove those options. Okay, so in this way, you can just try to insert picture or do fill your chart area, or this one plot area with different colors. Okay, and you have the second one as 3D format. See, so many other options are available here, formatting options, which you can explore here. Okay, see, formatting, I just tell you some basic things, and rest of them you can just explore here by yourself. Okay, and even the size can be set here. Okay, if I just say it as the chart size is decreased, right? If I try to increase this or increase this, okay, it is going to be increased like this height. And if you want to increase the width, you can increase it or even also decrease it. Okay, like this, three options are available for you. And you also have the text options. Okay, see, whatever I am doing here, those options are also available for you in format. Okay, so we'll just see that again. Okay, so text options. Again, whatever the text you have taken in the chart area, it can be filled with solid fill or no fill. Okay, it will be gone. No fill means everything will be gone. If you say solid fill, it comes back with that solid color option. If you say gradient fill again, it will be light. You can just make it as darker. Okay, or select the options over here. Okay, so you can increase it or decrease it. Okay, so it will be set for you. Okay, if you don't want green, blue, you can just change it to red. 1 second, it is taking time. Okay, so this is how you can just make changes for your text options too. Okay, so this is about your chart area. Similar to that, if I close this, okay, 1 second. Okay, in the chart option, I'll just remove that. I'll just say it as solid fill. Now everything is visible, right? So now I'll just close this. Similar to chart area, you also have options for different elements. So plot area also will remain same. Okay, now no other changes. Similar to chart area only you're going to have. Okay, if you want to do something with your these x-axis and y-axis bars, right? So I'll just click on that once. See, series options it is going to show you. Series are nothing but the data which is represented, right? So those are the series for you. Here also you can even change those options. Okay, if I say solid fill, see those, only those bars will be filled with different colors. If I say gradient fill, it will be changed. Okay, picture, again for each bar you can insert different pictures. Okay, if I say automatic, whatever I had applied, it will be given to you. Okay, even the borders can be set. Okay, and so many other options are available for you, just like your this one. Okay, so now yeah, that is about primary axis. And okay, we'll just go with primary axis here. Secondary axis means it is going to show you the other angle. Okay, so now series overlap means here, if I just try to increase it, see the width of that, the space between each bars are increasing. Okay, and the gap between is 100%. If I just remove, if I just decrease it, try to decrease it, there is no gap between any of those. Here, if I increase the series overlap, see one bar to another bar, there is no space, right? It is overlapping. Okay, if I just try to decrease it, it will not overlap. Okay, individual bars will be represented for you. And this is the gap width between each bars. Okay, so like this, you can even change the series options. And coming to this axis. Okay, so if I just click on this, double click on this axis, see now there are axis options available for you. Okay, see here, vertical alignment, text direction you have, and custom angle. Whatever the data written over here, the axis data written over here, that angle can be changed. Okay, so I'll just sorry that it went back to chart option. Okay, now there is a custom angle option here. I'll just try to increase that. See the change here. It is towards down, it is pointing, right? So if I just go back, if I do it negative, it goes in the other direction. Okay, it is shown in the other direction like a tilted one. Okay, similar to that, if I just go to this x-axis, double click on that, axis options again. Okay, now here also I can even decrease the size so that it is going towards right. Okay, so it is tilted towards right, upwards, right? And if you just go to positive, go to the positive degree, okay, it comes back, comes down. Okay, it is going to tilt towards down. Okay, so like this you can even have the options for different angle. And here one more option is available. See, I'm just going to show you some of them. So here, once I double click on that axis option, you have the something called as number. Okay, one second, tick marks. Yeah, tick marks option. Here the major type inside, if you give it as inside, you can give you can get a scale over here. Okay, a scale can be represented. If you don't want that, you can just keep it as none. So no scaling option will be available for you. Okay, so like that, the number which I have represented here, if at all you want to change the category of that, you can just make it as general number. Okay, or even the currency it can be set to the currency also. Okay, now but it is representing some number, right? Or some will just take it as general. Okay, so it is representing the data in general format. That's all. Okay, so like this you can have different options. Okay, and the text option here, same thing, the text which can be appeared in different colors. Okay, different formatting options, and the direction can be changed. Okay, all those options are available for each and axis elements. Okay, anybody is having any doubts here? And last one concept I'm just teach in formatting option. See here, in the format tab, you have the insert shape options, right? For inserting the shape, I'll just show you one. Here, I'll just select one of them. Okay, one of the bar here. If you don't want this bar to be seen like this, you can just insert some other shape. Okay, so I will just try to insert this arrow mark symbol. Okay, just draw it over here. Okay, so I'll just change the direction of this. You can drag and drop, just click on it and draw here, it will be appearing. Okay, so just change the color if you want. Okay, and now shape outline also you can change with different colors. Okay, so let it be blue itself. Okay, and if I say shape effect or shape outline itself, you have something called as weight. Okay, their weight option, you can just make it as more bolder. Okay, so it is like the width of it is increased, right? So now I have this shape over here. I just want to replace this shape with this one of the bars. all the bars also you can do, or one of the bars. Well, let us check with one of the bars. So this blue color first one, I'll just copy it, like Control C if you press, right? So I'm sorry. I'll just copy this one, arrow mark first. So Control C and click on the bar now and paste that same option. See, now the difference is here is the bar which was there, it has changed to the shape which you have inserted, right? So how did I do that? Okay, so just select the shape whichever you have inserted to the sheet. Okay, just copy that using the shortcut Control C. Okay, or you can even go and copy it over here, no issues. And now select the bar to which it has to be implemented. So I'll just go with this higher one. Okay, so the difference can be seen, right? So I'll select the bar and Control V if you place. Now the arrow mark is, the bar is replaced with the arrow mark, right? So this is how the shapes can also be used in your chart sheet. Okay, so these are some of the formatting options you have. Okay, so you have, see these insert option, we do have this shapes again be taught again. Okay, so you can just go through all this format, inserting shapes and all that again. Now we just have this accessibility. See, once I click that, it will ask you to write some description for your chart elements. Okay, see your chart is there. Each chart element you can insert some of the description. So that is your alt text. Okay, and being forward, send backward means, see whatever the text I have selected the particular this one you have, right? So these bring forward, send backward, all these formatting options again will be taught, right? So not in this. Okay, again the advanced concept when it comes, we're going to see that. Okay, and this align option, that is about, again it will come in the yeah, that is chart option. More chart options it will be available for you. Okay, so up to this, anybody is having any doubts? Formatting, design tab, anybody's having any doubts? Otherwise, I'll just move on to the next topic, that is types of charts. So what about last class assignment which I gave you? Did you all try with that? Nobody tried? Yeah, Chitra, I got it. I got your assignment. Okay. So anybody else? Anybody else has sent the assignment? I received or no, that's all I guess. Okay. So shall I go to the types of charts now? Okay, till now we discussed how to insert the charts, right? In different ways, like manually we can insert it, or using the shortcut also we can insert, and where exactly we are going to insert. Okay, those options, all those options we have seen, and different formatting options and chart elements, design tab, format tab, all these we have done in today's class, right? So I'll just move on to the types of charts. First class, the previous class, I didn't explain you what are all the chart types, right? So today in depth for each one, we're going to see one example so that you can, at the end, I'll tell you what exactly you need to do. Okay, as an assignment, you can send it to me, that all those things. Okay. So now, um, see, as I told you, once if at all I want to insert a chart, right? So I'll just go select the data. So now I have some data here. Okay. So the division or in a company, different divisions will be available, as different modules will be available in each division. Okay. In quarter 1, how was their performance? In quarter 2, how was their performance? 3 and 4. So it is charted over here. So these date set of range I can insert. Okay, I can insert into the chart as the chart elements. So we will see different types of charts. Just take a break for 2 minutes. I will be back. Okay. So we'll see those types of charts. Yeah, we'll just continue with the types of charts. Okay. So now the first one here is clustered and stacked chart. Okay. So to apply this, as I mentioned, there are different division mentioned over here and their performance in each quarters that is charted here, right? So we'll represent this in a clustered or stacked chart. So just select the data, go to insert chart, insert option. There, here, the first option, as you can see here, it represents column or bar chart only. Okay. So here stack means under column chart only. It is one of the variant. Okay. So if you want to apply it directly, you can do it using this shortcut over here, or you can just go to the recommended charts here and go to all charts option. And here you have the first option as clustered column, right? So which we already saw. Okay, it is going to show the data in different bars, right? So the bar is going to increase as per the date, right? Sorry, data which you have entered, right? So now either you can go with this one. See, the preview shows two things. One is that here, see, as you can see, the productivity, the row information, right? The row information, it is represented in here in the first preview, it is represented as x-axis, and the column data, it is represented in y-axis. This when you see the second one, okay, so it is going to be the reverse of it. So the column data will be in x-axis and the row data, that is productivity, bnews, game, okay, all these are represented in y-axis. So in this way, you can have different charts available. Okay, clustered chart. So whichever you want, you can just select it. And also you have the second one as the stacked column. First one, we will insert this chart, this clustered column. I'll just click on OK. So if you don't want this, you can remove this, or you can just keep it side. And if you want to insert for the same data range, if you want to insert, now go to insert again, select the recommended charts. In that, select the second one, that is stacked column. So what is the stacked column means? You have a concept of stack, okay, in different other subjects. Stack means wherein select this within the same end, you can insert the data, also you can remove the data like that, only one opening. So in the single bar, all the data are represented, right? See here, once if you see the preview here, see, well, let me just insert it. Okay, see here, in the clustered column, we had different bars, which indicates each value over here, right? So here in this, we are going to have a single bar in which the data are represented, right? So in the productivity, you have four column data, right? So productivity, first, the blue one represent the first quarter, the orange color represent the second quarter, third one is third quarter, and the fourth one, yellow color, is the fourth quarter. So like this, within the same bar, all those things are represented. So this is about your stacked column, wherein when you have multiple columns and multiple rows, multiple row data has to be mentioned or charted. Okay, then you can go with this option. Okay. So if at all you don't want this, you can just click on the chart and say delete. Okay, delete button if you press, it will be removed. If you want it back, just go to the recommended charts, or here you have an option, right? Insert column or bar chart. So just drop down, select the drop down. Okay, as you can see here, the first one is clustered column and the second one is stacked column, and third one like that you have similar to that stacked column. 100% means it will represent at only one column data. Okay, now you also have 3D column option here. See, whatever the representation is, okay, it will be represented in a 3D view. Okay, you know 3D, right? 3D view, you know, right? So similar to that, the 3D view option is available for each one of them. You can just represent it as in this way. Okay. Okay, even you can change the angle, you can change everything here. Okay, once I click on this, okay. So this 3D view, wherein 3D view will have another z-axis that is shown, right? So other part of it will be shown, but 3D view of this will not be so much effective for us. Okay, those 3D view, I'll be showing it in different other types. Okay, so this is our clustered or stacked column bar, wherein we have bars to represent the data. Okay, to analyze the data. So the second one, we can go with line chart. Okay, we can go with line chart. And here the data which I have taken here is each day, okay, each day from Monday to Friday, 3 companies shares or stocks, whatever you call. Okay, so how they are increasing from Monday to Friday, how they have increased. To analyze this, we can use a line chart. Okay, wherein you have some data growth. Okay, so in this way, line chart can be used. So here, see, once I select the data here. Okay, and same procedure, go to insert option. And here the second one you have the down in the second row, first one you have the line charts. Okay, different line charts. So once you click on it, it will show you the preview. Okay, you can go with any of the options here. If you want 3D line, that also can be done. 2D area, okay, like this. Area means like this. Okay, it is going to represent it in area wise. But line means a single line will be represented. Okay, and 3D view of that area bar also can be viewed. Okay, so let us just go with the line bar now. Okay, so this is the line chart. So the how 3 columns are there here, right? So the 3 column data is represented in individually in each line, right? So the blue one represent the first company, orange color IBM, and the third one MCI with silver color. Okay, so like this, the chart line chart can be implemented. So even you can change the theme of this like this. Okay, so the themes or the different chart styles also different different chart elements will be included. Some of them will be removed. Okay, like this, formatting options also will be applied for each one, each style available in the chart style. Okay, so now under this chart line chart only. Okay, see, you have like we'll go to that insert option and I'll show you again. So you have this one. So line with markers. So let us change this chart style. Okay, we'll just go with the first one. See, like this. Okay, so it is going to plot those numbers like this. Okay, if at all go to the first one or different style theme which I have explained, right? So I think I applied different style there, so it is gone. Yeah. Okay, so like this, the plots, the data labels, if you remove here, okay, data labels, if I remove, okay, now I'll just select that. Okay, data labels are removed. Now I'll select that line chart option. Okay, the other line chart option. So go to the insert option. And here, if you go with the third one here, okay, the 2D line, see, it is going to plot the particular point, which is not available in the first type. Okay, so this plots are nothing but the values. Okay, see that is 69 and this point is 96. So it is easy for you to identify those plots. Okay, so like this, in line chart, we can see the plots here and how exactly they are increasing and how they are decreasing. So now here the blue line represent the first company, right? Now I'll just try to change this. We have 98, right? So 110, it has now come down to 98. So if at all I change that value, okay, there is no connection. See, there is no connection because I removed the data. So I will just do it task 200. That 200 is not available for us. Okay, let me make it to 20. Okay, so now see the change. It is going down automatically. So once you select the data range and apply the chart for that data range, and if at all you make any changes to the data here in the range, okay, it will be affecting your chart automatically. You don't have to do it automatically. It will be done. Okay, so this is how you can make use of different line charts. Okay, and the next one we have it as radar chart. Okay, so what is this radar chart? See, radar means it is going to have a web kind of look. Okay, so just I will select the data here, and here you have the option called as this is scatter option. And okay, let us just go with the types, all charts. Okay, here you have the option called as radar chart. Okay, see the preview here. It is just like some web from inside to outside. See those lines and those bars, everything was like in a single line. We have the range of data in the y-axis, and that y-axis we are going to represent different bars or lines. But here we have the range from inside to outside it will be mentioned. So innermost will be the least and outermost will be the highest one. Okay, radar means just like on web, it will be represented wherein the innermost data is the least one and the outermost will be the highest one. Okay, so when we are going to use this type of chart, see whenever you have some like ranking or something like that, see here we have different fields like knowledge, delivery, effectiveness, helpful, punctuality. So in each field, what are all the points scored by each person there, each student there, okay, each customer there. Okay, you can take like that. So here Graham, he's the first person and we are checking for his knowledge, we are checking for his delivery, effectiveness, helpful and punctual, and we are going to chart them, or entirely all the data which is in the table can be selected to include that. See, now it will show you. And here in the recommended charts, we'll go to radar and select that. So now the chart is applied for each person, right? So knowledge, punctual, helpful, effectiveness, delivery, all the my row data has been represented here, and my column data goes from here to here. And see, all their data range is above 4, right? It is almost above 4. So the data represented is like in this format. If at all you change that, okay, we'll just change Graham's details here. I'll just make it as 2.2 and press enter. See, automatically his knowledge, right? His knowledge, which is pointing here, it is down to the 2 value. If at all you want to decrease this delivery also to 1.5, okay, just change it that, and see here, the delivery also came down to 1.5. So here effectiveness, if you change, or effectiveness, okay, I'll just change it to 1.0. See, even the effectiveness came to this point. Like this, your web can be designed. So if at all you have some ranking or feedback, if at all you are collecting from someone, all those feedbacks can be charted like this using radar chart. Okay, when you're giving some points or something like that. Okay, so you can go with this radar chart. Okay, so the next one here is we have X and Y scatter. See, we will go with this type of chart when we want to find out the relationship between the first column and the second column. So usually we go with the 2 columns here, wherein we are going to check whether there is a relationship between 2 columns. So let me just apply the chart. So select the chart, which is the chart we are talking about, XY scatter. Okay, it is already here. Or you can just go to this one. XY scatter available here. So you can just go with any type here. Okay, so it will show you the bubbles, or if you want to choose, or the scatter if you want to choose. I'll click on OK here. See, it will show you. See, I'll just place the cursor over here. If you can't see this, I'll just yeah. So see here, once I place the cursor there, it is the series which is match relationship. It's built between car price and your salary. Okay, so according to the salary, it is going to give you the match the car price here. So if there is a relationship, it is going to show you like this. Okay, so it is going to plot it over there. So what is the first point? 35672 is the car price and 20858 is my salary. Okay, so that is, sorry, 3,56,000. It is here it is 20,858. So that is the relationship it is showing you at this point. It is going to take. See, what is the value of your this one? It is the first point if I give here. Okay, why car price is 3,562. Here, this one, the first point is 3,5,672 and 2,858, right? So that is pointed over here because your x-axis, right? Here it is 50,000 here. It comes down here because 35,000 between these two it will appear here, and the y-axis, right? So that is up to 20,000. So it has come down here, 20,000 and 30,000. Like this, it will be plotted. The relationship between the two will be plotted on an average. Okay, so this is your XY scatter. Okay, wherein it is showing you the relationship between these 2 columns. Okay, again, you can change the theme of this if you want to view the plots in a in a bright way. Okay. So next one is our stock chart. For this stock, you need to have these kind of columns only. See, what is that? We need to have some date, high, low, and close. High value, low value, and close. See here, in this particular date, okay, so stock values we are recording, okay, which was the stock value when like in a particular date, on that particular day. So the highest value which was taken as 2729, low value is 2677, and closed value is 2714. Like this, whenever you have some stock values, you can go with this stock chart, wherein you should have the columns like this, high, low, and close, and you should have the dates also. Okay, let us just view that. I have a table selected here, range of data, and try to insert the stock chart. So where is stock chart here? Here it is. So just select that and click on OK. See, so my chart type, okay. So now it is showing you the lowest and highest. Let me just select the theme here. Now it is visible properly. See here, it is showing you the closed value. And once I place the cursor here, it shows you the high and low line. And this particular line is the high and low line. And this dot, the plot which you can see, it is the closed value. Okay, and this is the line again, this is the closed value, and this is the high and the low value, that line, and this the plot, right, that represents the closing point. Okay, similar to that, it is showing you. So whenever you have this date, high, low, and close value, like some stock values which are recorded per day, per month, or per year, okay, like that you can represent it with stock chart. Okay. So next one we have it as combo chart. See, combo chart means you can have the combination of multiple charts. Okay, combo chart means you can have the combination of multiple charts. So which is that chart we can use here? See, I'll select the data over here. Okay, and we'll insert the combo chart here. Same procedure. So now once I select the combo chart, as you can see here, but the blue line here will not appear because the rainy days which I have the column here, it has a low value than your profit value. Okay, so now the orange color is representing my line chart, as you can see here itself, and the rainy days, the blue color line, which actually is not appeared here, I'll show you directly. So it is appearing actually in clustered column chart. Okay, so either you can give this one, you represent this one with the line chart, and you just give this as a bar chart. Okay, so only your line chart option, okay, bar chart option is available for you here, and here also the same options. You can go with either clustered column or line option. Okay, just click on OK. Okay, and as you can see, there is a blue line, right? Because here the rainy days range is only this below, like what you can say is yeah, between 10 to 11, that's all, between 0 to 12, that's all, right? So that is why the line is shown here. If at all I increase this, you can see the difference. Okay, so I'll make it as 122. Okay, I'll just I'm trying to change this so that you can view the growth. Okay, like this you can change. So even the blue line which I have represented for line chart, right? So it is appearing, it is showing the growth. Okay, so since I kept it 10 and 11 here, the line graph which had pointed up to this one, it has automatically come down here to the 0th level. Okay, so here we have 10 and 11, so it comes down to the 10 and 11 position there. So like this, combo chart can be used whenever you have something like to represent two charts combined together. Okay, so this is your combo chart. Okay, so the next one here is bar of pie chart. Okay, bar or pie chart it is. Okay, so now I have some census to be done, something like that. Okay, so now see here, I have the complete range of data over here. the bar chart or the pie chart will represent only one row or one row data. Okay, it is suitable when you want to represent only one row data in a chart. Okay, and I just want to see what are the population of different animals in 2017 only. Okay, only in 2017, if you want to view this. Okay, so what to do? I'll just select the data here, only the first row, insert pie chart. Okay, I'm trying to insert the pie chart. See, automatically when I go to recommended charts, you have this pie chart represented, right? So either you can go with that or you can just select it from here. Okay, and click on OK. See, it will show you the number only in 2017. So this is for whales, this is for bears, and this is for dolphins. Like this, in a circle, it is divided the numbers. The major part is taken by whales, right? It is the number of bears, sorry, the whales, right? So if I increase the number of bears here to 133, okay, and just press enter, see the major portion of that circle is provided for bears. Like this, you can even change the data and see the changes applicable for your charts also. Okay, so this is your bar chart. So, sorry, pie chart. See, as I already told you, the 3D view is suitable for these kind of charts, right? So let us just change that chart type now. Okay, I'll just go to this pie chart and represent the 3D view. See, the second one will show you that. Okay, I'll click on that and see here, it is showing you this option, right? So it is showing you this option. And now this is the 3D view of that. If at all you want to change still more. Yeah. One second. So if you want more pie charts, you can go with that. I think this is fine. Okay, click on OK. So now see, I'll just click on this one portion, the bears, and if I just drag it and one second. I'll select that part itself. I'll just select that. Okay, one second. Yeah. So once I select this part and see here, I'm increasing the, okay, let me just show you this way. Yeah. See, once I select the portion here, okay, and 3D format option. Okay, even you can just increase this also. And my point explosion, whatever available here is, if I just try to increase that, all the portions gets, see, it is segregated, right? So it is segregated. So now if you want it back, just load down that particular value. Okay, it comes closer to that. Okay, you can just move it with the help of mouse also. See, select that portion and drag and leave it. It is going to be separated. See, even you can use this option or just select that pie chart, the series option. The series option means the only one part of it, and you can just select this last option, that is your series option. There you have a point explosion option. You can just increase it or decrease it according to your value. Okay, it is segregated, right? So it is segregated in a different way. Okay, if you want, just bring it back together. Okay, so it will be joined together. So like this, pie chart can be viewed in a different forms. Okay. So this is about your pie chart. And also, see, I'll just try to remove this and okay. So let me just apply this for two rows. If at all I do it for 2 rows, okay, I'll try to insert for two rows. Click on OK. So what you are seeing here is just for 2017. Okay, but I also selected for 2018, right? So now just select this chart and select the select data option over here. And on the left hand side, you have 2017 and 2018 been selected, right? Because the data range which I have selected is both of them, but I am viewing only 2017. That is why I'll just remove that 2017 option and click on OK. Now my chart is changed for 2018. 80. Okay, so like this, you can even make the changes for your chart. Please, whoever is joining now, please don't unmute, pa. Okay, anyway, you're not going to get any attendance if you do that. If you unmute yourself or do something like this, okay, please look into that, because even I cannot, when I'm taking class, I can't be looking who has just done it. Please don't do that. Okay, even if you're not listening, it's fine. Don't disturb or try to disturb others. Okay, so this is about your pie chart. Okay, see the last one, or we have one more. Okay, so the people chart we are having here. See, when there is something like census, or when we want to yeah, the same thing, census here also, how many number of people are there in a particular region, or even you can go with this religion or something like this. Okay, so religion, Christianity, some etc. Okay, let me not just go depth in that, and just have a certain data, that's all. Okay, so here the religion, different religion, types of religion I have mentioned, and different how many number of people are there. Okay, in million we have taken. So we have a chart called as people chart available for us. Okay, so directly which will show you in different forms. See this people chart. See, once I try to insert, see the recommended chart, it is not available for us here. Even if I go to all charts, we don't have anything called as people chart. So where exactly it is available? See, you have the option called as add-ins here, right? Add-ins. In that, get add-ins option is available, and my add-ins is available. See, already Excel people have given you one thing, that is your people chart available here as an add-in. If at all you want any other, just click on get add-in. Okay, from MS Office itself, MS Office add-ins itself, it is going to give you, see this people graph is available. It is already available. Even if you click on add, it doesn't matter. It is already available, right? So like that, you have different financial things, modern charts, Excel to SMS. Okay, like this, you have different options as an add-ins. You can select any of those, but you should have an internet connection for that. Okay, so my add-ins means it is just like my library. Okay, in my library, I have this people graph. Okay, you can just apply that. Okay, so now I have selected the data here. That particular add-in is available for me. Just click on that. Okay, so now it will appear here, but this is not the data which I selected. Okay, this is not the data which I selected. Okay, so in order to give my data to that, okay, so here there is an option. Once you click on this, the first option, select your data, it asks me for. Okay, select your data. Just click on that, select your option, select your, already I have selected, or we'll just select it again. So my data I have selected here. Now just click on create over here. See, it will create the chart for my data. Okay, it is going to create the chart for my data. Okay, let me just maximize it to you. See, this is how the people chart will be. So each religion, how exactly it is represented. Okay, like that it is going to show you. So this is my chart. Okay, so this is an add-in, right? So it is going to help you in that. Okay, so if at all I try to change this value, something like 60, 100, okay, in millions, right? So let me get like 600 million and press enter. So automatically it gets changed. Okay, automatically it gets changed. Okay, so like this you can make use of people chart. Okay, so the last one here is not last one, sorry, we do have two more. Okay, waterfall and this one. See, in this waterfall chart, I have represented some value in negative value. Okay, so negative value can be represented within brackets. Okay, brackets, whatever you mentioned will be shown in negative values. Okay, see, waterfall model, where it will be displaying negative as well as positive values. Okay, whenever you have some negative and positive values, you can just go with this waterfall model, because see, if you want to know whether it is a negative value, just click on that data, and in the formula bar, it is represented in a negative format. Okay, so now I want to apply a waterfall model for this. go to insert and say waterfall model. Okay. So select the waterfall model and click on OK. See, your waterfall model is available here. It is shown like this. And if you have any negative values, it is shown in different colors. And if you have positive value, it will be shown in blue color. Okay, even you can change the colors of this. See, if at all I remove this and say in brackets 98. Okay. Though it is a negative value, right? So when I press enter, see even that 98 represented in orange color. Okay, whenever you have something like this, negative and positive, automatically waterfall model will change that waterfall chart will change the color of this automatically, negative and positive. It is segregated by the chart itself. Okay, like in this way, waterfall model can be used. Okay. So the last one here is speedometer chart. See, this one is little bit difficult for you to learn now. Okay, so I'll just show you the working of this. See, we have some data over here and I've calculated the average, okay, average performance of each. See, once and I've given, if the percentage is 10, 30, 70 like that, I have given the category also. Okay, so now also the smiley which is represented in the bottom. Okay, how it will change. If it is 90%, say I will change, I've written the formula here. So if I give the 90%, okay, and press enter, see the 90%, it has given the value here. Okay, maybe the smiley is not changing. Yeah, okay. So now these how to insert and everything in the when we come to advanced level, we can just learn it in depth. Okay, it is quite a difficult job now because here speedometer chart is not available for us. Once I go to this recommended chart, see there is no speedometer chart. It has to be constructed based on 2 or 3 other charts. Okay, so that is when these steps will involve. Okay, all those in detail we can learn it and see here we have used VLOOKUP and all that because since as of you don't know what is VLOOKUP and all, it is quite difficult for us to teach. So we will just take that in our advanced level. Okay, so once you change the data over here, you have seen speedometer, right? So similar to that, you're going to get it. We have to give like 80 figure. Okay, so okay, sorry. Okay. So automatically it is changing. It comes to average since I have got it as 80%. Okay. So now in this way, you can make use of this speedometer chart. Okay. These are the different types of charts available. Anybody is having any doubts up to this charts, because I'm going to wind up this concept. Anybody is having any doubts with the different types? See, I want you to practice all these charts. Okay. I think everybody has taken at least the database, right? So you can just choose that database and try to apply at least, bar chart, pie chart. Okay. Sorry, the column chart, line chart. I want you to practice at least the 4 charts. Okay, 4. Basically, you go with this one, pie chart and bar chart. Okay, column chart. Okay, pie chart and column chart. Okay, rest of them, other 2, you can just make the selection. Okay, so at least I want to see you practicing 2 charts. Apart from that, 2 more, you can just select your own chart from this. At least 4 of them as an assignment, let me know. Okay, you can take different set of database also. Okay, you know now how the data should be chosen for each type, right? So just go with those type of data and try to insert the chart for that. Okay, let me know. When one same workbook itself, you can just take different sheets and place the charts. Okay. So last topic for the day is pivot table. I'll just try to give an introduction to pivot table. Okay, today. So till that time, just let me know if you have any doubts up to this. Okay, shall I go to the next topic now? See, we have seen different ways in which we can analyze the data, right? So pivot table is actually a, like a very effective and very beautiful concept in Excel. Okay. So each and every column can be analyzed here. Okay. And also automatically Excel is going to give you the results. It is only analyzing for you. Whatever you require, only those information will be provided to you with the help of pivot tables. Okay, so this is very much interesting and a very much important topic under your Excel. Okay, so now let us just concentrate on first how do we insert the pivot tables. Okay, so later we can just go with other topics. So the first thing is when you consider pivot table, it is effective only if you have large database. That is why we are having up to 79 to 80 details. Okay, with SL number, salesperson, sales, region, brands. So here I have listed out different salesperson. Okay, details of different salesperson, their names and how much they have made the sales. Okay, the amount and the region in which they have made the sale and which are all the brands they have sold. Okay, like this we have collected different data in a table. For this, I'm going to put put a pivot table. So how exactly it is going to work? We are going to see with the help of those pivot tables. Okay. So how do we apply that? First of all, we need to select the range, right? For everything, we need to first select the range. Since you have like a large database over here, you cannot sit and just drag up to the last column, right? So in the beginning classes only, I told you the shortcut. So what was that? Just select this, hold Control and Shift and press the right arrow button. It will select the last row, the last column used. Okay, so what is it? Control and Shift and press the right arrow mark. It will select the last row that is used. And similar to that, again, by holding Control and Shift only, now press the downward arrow. Downward arrow, it is going to select the last row that has been used. Okay, the last row that has been used. So in this way, you can just select the data, or you can just hold, click the mouse here and drag and drop to the last column. Just go to the last one by holding the cursor, by holding the pointer. Okay, it will select it. Once you reach the end, you can just leave the pointer. Okay, like this you can make a selection. After selecting it, go to insert again. We are still in insert tab. Okay, we go to insert tab. Here you have the pivot table option, right? You have the pivot table option. Just click on that pivot table option. A dialog box will appear for you. It is asking you for the table range, right? Already we have selected that. If at all you want to make any changes, okay, just click on this. You are minimizing the dialog box. Now make the selection. Okay, if once that selection is done, click that back. You're going to get that dialog box again. I mean, it will be displayed. So here, choose where you want the pivot table report to be placed, either in new worksheet or in existing worksheet. See here, I will not go with the new worksheet. I want that pivot table to be present in the existing current worksheet only. So I'll just click on this and it will ask me for the location if I choose existing worksheet. Okay, so go to this option, just minimize the dialog box, and now place the cursor where you want to insert the pivot table. Okay, place a cell, select a cell. Okay, so now just click that back again and click on OK. So your pivot report now, as of now, it is empty. Okay, it is going to be appear in the same sheet starting from the cell which you had mentioned in the location, right? So how did I do that? I'll just close it again. Okay. Okay, we'll just remove this. Okay, what did I do? Control shift and right arrow, control shift and down arrow will select all the used rows and used columns. Go to insert option and select pivot table, and here it will ask you for the table range, right? Either you can just, in this particular thing, you can just select the data or leave selected range. If you are okay with that, just go to the next option. It will ask you where exactly it should be placed, right? The my pivot table, where exactly it should be placed. So I'll just choose the existing worksheet here. If you select new worksheet, it will go to the other, it will create a new worksheet and place the data over the private pivot table over there. If you don't want that, you can just keep it in the same sheet. Okay, now just choose the location. That is, I'm choosing the cell over here and click on OK. My pivot report will appear here. Okay, this is my pivot table fields. Okay, and this is the report that will be appearing. So what report it is showing? See, pivot table fields are nothing but here whatever the fields you are having individually is available here. So that once I click on that, it is going to show you the report for that selected field here in the report. Okay, so I'll just go with sales. Sum of sale it is showing you. It is going to show you the sum of sales. See, entire this particular, see, if you want to see 21, 24, 225 is the sum of total sales made by all the salesperson. Okay, so automatically it is showing you the sum of sales. If you don't want to see the sum of sales, okay, just deselect this option, it will be gone. I just want to view the salesperson. I will click on it. Only the salesperson details or the names will appear for you. Okay, so automatically the grand total option is available for you here, which I will be talking later. Now see, only the salesperson has come in my rows. If you don't want that to be in rows, you can just select this and drag and drop into the column option. As you can see here, all the details are represented, all the salesperson details are represented in my, one second. Yeah, in the column wise, right? If you don't want that, just click that and drag and drop in the rows. It is appearing here. Now I just want to see what are all the sales made by, the brands which are sold by each salesperson. I have the salesperson in rows, right? I can just go with, here you have the list of this one, right? So brands, I want it in columns. I'll just drag it and drop it over here. So now, what are all the brands we have? Oppo, Redmi and Vivo. Only those three are available for you here, right? Only Vivo, Oppo and Redmi. Okay, no other is available. Only these three are available. So if you want that in rows, just drag and drop up to this. It will be displayed like this. Now, I want to see how much or what is the sale made by each salesperson and which are all the brands we are used. So I already have the brands here. So I will also go with the sales. I'll just drag and drop the sales over here or over in the values. See, when I drop that in values, it is going to give you the sum of that. Now just analyze the report here. Each salesperson, what is the total they have sold? Redmi, how much? Vivo, how much? See here, we have the Ganesh Gowda first, right? So let us just go to Ganesh Gowda here. The Ganesh Gowda 426, Redmi, right? So Redmi, and once more, same person, right? Same person. Redmi, the total. Let me just drag and drop. Okay, the sales which has made, right? So yeah, Redmi and Vivo. The total sale is 20,426, and again you have Ganesh Gowda with 18,685, and again the same person with 23,833. But here also it is Redmi, so it is going to add all those things, right? So and finally all of them is Redmi, and the only one is, I guess, it has been changed somewhere. Okay, so like that it is going to analyze for you what is the total amount. Okay, only one thing, Vivo, it has been changed. If at all you want to change here, okay, you can do that, but we'll just learn that how to do that later. Okay, so I have taken different salesperson, different brand, and I have a total of those brands, right? Sale of that this is the sum of sales, means it is going to add those sale amount, right? Sale amount, and in each brand it is showing. Now I want to see in each region. Okay, so I'll just select this. See, if I just selected, it is going to be appear in the rows. Okay, if you want it to be in columns, that also you can perform. See, here my pivot table or pivot report is, this is my pivot table and this is my pivot report. Okay, so Ganesh Gowda's sale, this is total sale in each range. Okay, Ganesh Gowda, and in the header you have got the total, right? So this is the range of data available in each region total, and here you have Redmi and Vivo, right? So this will be in each brand. Okay, East, Redmi and Vivo, how much it is sold, and in North, each brand Redmi and Vivo, how much it is sold, and in South, how much is it sold in? See, he has not sold in South and West, the Vivo brand, right? So it is not showing you any data, and this is the grand total. This is the grand total of this particular person. Okay, so in this way you can make use of pivot tables. Okay, so and once you insert this particular pivot table in the header, in the ribbon, you can see analyze and design. Analyze and design tabs are open for you. Analyze means you're going to have different options, like it is going to show you the pivot table name. See, this may be the 26th table I have inserted in my entire workbook, or totally. Okay, you can change the name of this pivot table also. Just select that and remove, and sales I'll just give it as. So the name of the pivot table will be sales. Okay, so you have active fields here. So what are the active fields means? Here it is showing you sum of, I have selected the sum, right? So if you place the cursor over here, the brand is selected. And if I place the cursor over here, it is showing you the active field. That means where exactly the cursor is placed. That particular information, you can get it with the help of this active field. Okay. And if you go to field settings, and if you want to change the salesperson name, or if you don't want this automatic subtotals in automatic, okay, you can just say none. So, and click on OK. It will not show you the subtotals, right? It is not showing you any subtotals. If you want it back, field settings again, and you give it as automatic, it is going to give you. But if you want to customize it, like I don't want that sum to be calculated, so I'll select custom, and here are different options available for you. I'll just go with count. Okay, I'll just go with count and click on OK. See, count how many number of brand sale is made in each region. Okay, so Redmi, Vivo, here it is 2 and 1. That is why it is showing you 3. Okay, in North 3, and South you have only 1. West also you have only 1. So you can like this change the, you can make the failed settings. Automatic, if you give, automatically it will show you the sum. Okay, none means nothing will be shown. Custom means you can just change the functions. Sum, average, maximum, minimum. Okay, if I go with max and click on OK, it will show you the maximum sale by Ganesh Gowda in each region and from different brands. It is showing you in different region only. If you want to change that, okay, see, I will just place the region in rows. Okay, so now see, Ganesh Gowda count is 8 and Ganesh Gowda max among all these sale. Okay, it is going to be changed. If I change this brands to this one, see, Oppo, Redmi and Vivo. See, now you can see it is more clear, right? So in East, how much has done for Oppo? Nothing. North, South, West, nothing. Okay, East, Redmi. So East, North, South and West, Redmi has done in every region, all the region. Vivo only in East and North. Like this, you can just make the analyze according to your wish. Okay. So is there any doubts that I can clarify from pivot tables? how to insert the data and all that. Okay. So now you can also use this refresh and change data source, refresh and change data source. So refresh will help you to see if at all I make any changes to any of the data over here. Okay, if I just make it like this and press enter. So this will not be automatically shown for you. Okay, let me just decrease it. Yeah. So this will not be automatically reflected in your pivot table. Okay. So what we can do is whatever data I have given here, go to analyze. Okay. Select the refresh option, say refresh or refresh all. So then it will be affected to you in here. Okay. Now, if at all you want to change the data source, say I have 79 details, but I want to, or 81 details. Okay. You can even, yeah, 79 details, right? So 79 details. If you want to add one more, okay, let's say I'll just enter 20th details also, 24. Okay, so this is my 80th, and let me take it as Guru. Okay, I don't want Prakash, I just want the Guru details, and I'll enter like 45. Okay, and in East region, and he is giving Oppo. He has sold Oppo. Okay. Okay, but this information, see, let us just analyze over here. I'll select only the, okay. So see here, I don't see any pivot table to select my field, right? So what can I do is, I'll just place the cursor and analyze. Okay, so there is an option over here as in show group. Okay, field list, it is going to available for you. Just click on that, it will show you the pivot table fields. Okay, and field headers, if you want to remove, you can just remove, wherein automatically it shows you some like if I just insert it, you get the column labels and row labels, right? If you don't want that, you can remove this. Buttons are available for each one of them, right? So if you don't want that, I can just remove that. If you want that, you can just click on that. If you want this field list, you can just click on this field list. Okay, it will be appearing for you. Okay, now I'll just select, I will just deselect all of them. I'll select only salesperson. Sales also I will remove. Okay, as you can see, also the brand, I think brands region is selected. Okay, okay. Well, let me just remove it. See, I have entered details of Guru, right? I have entered the details of Guru, but it is not available for us here in the table. So now what I can do is just go to the analysis and change data source here. See, if at all you're changing only the data, only one particular column details, then you can go with refresh. If you have entered a separate row or a separate column, then you should say change data source. Okay, already selected range. If you have made any changes, then to get that changes, to update that changes in the pivot table, you can go with refresh. If at all you have inserted a particular row or separate row, and if at all you have inserted a separate column, then you can select change data source. Okay, so now I'll just select this change data to source option. Here it will ask you to enter the change, right? So here the dates I haven't selected. Okay, so I'll just go with the SL number and select up to the last column. I will include the last column as well. Okay, and now my data is range is selected and click on OK. So now my pivot table will be, see, the Guru details has been added. The salesperson details has been added. Okay, so this is how you can make use of complete pivot table, but still we do have some other options available for us in the same tab, and design tab also is available for us. Since design tab is nothing but wherein you can change the look and feel of your pivot tables. You can change these things. Okay, row header, if you don't want, you can remove. Column header, if you don't want, you can remove. And subtotals I showed you there, right? So do not show subtotals, show all subtotals at bottom. If I click that, so let me just insert the sales option. Now sum of sales are available for me, right? So if I don't want that, do not show Do not show okay, we don't have any subtotals. Okay, region I will just show now. Subtotals are now not available now also. Brands, okay, I think I removed that already. So show all subtotals. If I say, it is going to show you the subtotals. Okay, if you don't want that, on the top, if you want, it will be shown. If you don't want in that, you can just see it. It is in the bottom. Okay, if you don't want all those subtotals, all those subtotals will be removed from the particular table. Grand total means, see, off for rows and columns, on for row columns, on for row only, on for columns only. See, each row total can be taken. Each column sum can be taken for us. See, either you can go with the count, sum, whichever function is there. For all those functions, you can apply this. If I say off for rows and columns, it will be gone for rows and columns. If you say on for rows and columns, it will be there for you. But I didn't select that, right? So all bottom. Now let me just go with the grand totals. If I say off for rows and columns, okay, it will be gone for both. If I just say it for, now I have just it for rows, right? It is going to be available for only rows. Like that, you can go with the selection. And report layout, okay, so in different forms we can do that. I'll show it in the next class. Okay, if at all you have any blank rows, okay, so if at all you want to insert any blank rows or remove, okay, if I select this, each row will be, after each row, see, E total, different region we have selected, right? So after that, it will give you a blank space. If you don't want that blank space, you can just remove that. Okay, so like this, you can apply and remove different blank rows. So these are some of the explanation from your analyze and design tab for your pivot tables. Okay, so next class we'll learn some more points on this. Okay, anybody is having any doubts up to this? Let me know. Okay. Okay, I'll just give you 2 more minutes. Just revise that once again. If you don't have any doubts, I will just end up the session here. Okay. And I want you to try inserting your data and data like take large database and try to insert the pivot table. Okay. So let me assume that you have understood all. Okay. Understood everything. So I'll wind up the class for today. Okay. We'll meet in the next session. Thank you for joining.